This is Walter Stark, and welcome to Stark Talk. Today's subject is our friend Paris Hilton and her unexpected 40-more-day vacation. Can you tell me anything at all about what's been happening in the Middle East in the last day or two? Of course not. Why should you be able to when this spoiled heiress has quickly monopolized every bit of time on TV and radio, and now is back where she belongs, reincarcerated? I don't usually think of myself as unusually sadistic, but if I have ever reveled in someone's misery, when this poor 26-year-old was awakened by the police again, I'm enjoying it. Can you imagine the arrogance of that family? Can you believe what a handful of dead presidents did for her? It sure as heck didn't accomplish the feat of leaving her in the house, that 4-acre palace, by her parents' palace, that this poor, fragile child refused to grow up in. Personally, I was delighted with the judge having the gumption to seriously consider the inappropriate actions of the sheriff and countermanding them. Paris's antics are typical of the disease of this generation's affluent kids, protected from learning wholesome values, I should say. All actions have to do with pleasure for the moment and lots of money in the use of their name. To date, Hilton's shining example of talent and ambition is a little show called The Simple Life, which features herself and longtime buddy Nicole Richmond. In the last 4 years, 2 of these 4 years, they refused to be shot together. The reason? They'd had a falling out. The paparazzi and all the Hollywood gossip still haven't been able to get the lowdown on what caused this temporary rift between these 2 dysfunctional friends. The TV series showcased Hilton and Richie and Hilton's dog insulting and abusing virtually every family they visited. And people in the audience ate this up. This season, the 2 are visiting and disrupting specialty camps, a different one each week. Richie, Lohan, Hilton, and our friend Britney Spears have been shining examples to the teenagers of how not to live. The worst part of the various scenarios in this scheme is that they're setting a rotten example for teenagers. Now, years ago, in my day, we had a rebel without a cause on film and in life called James Dean. But on a scale of rebellion from 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst, he was a 5 and these girls are a 20. All I can suggest is that after every American house watches news each night, when it ends and most turn to the CBS or NBC shows The Insider, Entertainment Tonight, and Access Hollywood, glorifying America's love affair with celebrity in a worse way that the star of the National Enquirer ever did, says something about our society today, doesn't it? Hilton now becomes old news, and tabloid TV shows will feature this perhaps once an hour instead of constantly. But you can be sure we'll be kept up on everything to do with her eating, sleeping, and toilet habits in her 8-by-12-foot cell. We have 40 more days of this to endure while she's in internment. As far as I'm concerned, her supposedly refined parents should be held to task for the upbringing of this flashy misfit, and never ever reining her in up to this point. Well, one thing for a few days, the candidates' non-debates and the Iraq and Iran situation take a back seat. Now we can go back to viewing must be the world's most used oxymoron, a fascination for these, quote, honest politicians. If you'd like to hear and see more about my blogs, join me please at YouTube or www.blogster.com under Walter Stark. This is Walter Stark, and thanks for watching Stark Talk.